Chris. I wanted to record a quick video of my wheel rim that I'm using at the moment, which is the HRS 280 Monaco edition. HRS is a company in Australia and New South Wales, Hybrid Racing Simulations, who make a range of high-end sim hardware. So from wheel rims to direct drive systems to 80/20 aluminium profile rigs, all sorts. If you're thinking of investing in a high-end wheel rim, chances are you've heard of HRS. And I wanted to record this video just as a quick close-up of mine, because it's quite difficult to find reviews on this kind of stuff. You know, the more mainstream manufacturers, you know, like the Fanatec's, the Thrustmasters of this world. If you want to buy a product from a company like that, you can jump on YouTube and, you know, you'll be inundated with videos. You know, you'll have tens, hundreds of videos to choose from probably. But for the smaller, you know, real high-end hardware manufacturers like HRS, it's more difficult. So I thought I'd record this because I've got this wheel, and hopefully people who are in the market for something like this will come across it, and it may help your decision one way or the other. But nevertheless, here is the wheel. I've had it for about probably close to 18 months, certainly over a year. And cutting to the chase, I've been over the moon with it. I think it's an amazing piece of kit. It cost me about 1,600 Aussie dollars at the time. I was living in Australia when I bought this. I'm in the UK now. So that's about 890 quid in sterling, which is a lot of money to invest on a wheel rim. But if you really want to, you know, if you want the top end of sort of your wheel hardware, that's about the going rate, to be honest with you. There's a few companies that make you know, this super high end stuff, and that's the sort of level that you would pay. So although it's a lot of money to shell out, it's, as far as the value that you get, I've got to say it is amazing. You definitely get what you pay for. It took 6 weeks to make. The wheel rim, as you can see, it was blue, obviously. I actually wanted a black one when I placed the order with HRS, but a black one would have been 10 to 12 weeks wait. The blue one was 6 weeks, because the wheel supplier, which I think this rim is a Sportline rim, I may be wrong, but anyway, whoever it is, they were out of black ones at the time, and I didn't want to wait any longer than I had to, really. So I just thought, oh, do you know what, fuck it, I'll go for the blue one. I had to make that choice though based on pictures that I could see on Instagram, on Facebook. Well, anything I could find on YouTube at the time, and again, that's one of the reasons why I thought I'd just put this together, just a bit more content for people to look at before they make their own decision. But yeah, so it's the HRS 280 Monaco edition. It's called the Monaco edition, I think, because it's got that Monaco plate in the middle, and it's 280 in diameter. So I always wondered this. I don't know if it's just me being stupid or not, but when you measure a rim, it's from edge to edge. I didn't know if it was from, you know, inner to inner, or, you know, from the outer farthest points, which it is. So it's a 280mm wheel. It's worth me pointing out as well that there's a few stickers on here which I've since put on. You can probably spot them, but I'll point them out here. So that I've stuck all those on afterwards. These markings here that you see, which I'll go through now, so there's a button that's marked DRS, left, right, KERS, flash, Z1 for your Z1 dash, and I've changed some of these. So I've got that I don't have a Z1 dash, so I've just changed that to I use that for my visor. If I'm racing a Formula car, I want to tear a rip off. That's the button I've got for there. Traction control, fuel, fuel map, roll bars, brake bias. These two toggle switches here, left and right. And that's, you know, on iRacing, if you say pass left, pass right, I've got that for this. And then here, that's an up down. I've got that set to turn the engine ignition on and off. Torque and pit lane speed limit. So look, there's plenty of buttons and, you know, rotary dials here that you can map. I've got a button box as well, but I've probably got too many buttons now. Don't really, you know, need them all, but it's good if you're thinking of maybe buying a wheel and a button box. You could look at something like this, and you might not need both. But yeah, but it's definitely a very good looking piece of kit. When people come around and have a go on the sim, the first thing that catches their eye and that they're impressed by is how good the wheel looks. You know, how well it's been made. The button plate, which you can see coming through here, this is all carbon fiber. If I turn the wheel around as well, I've got an AccuForce wheelbase. So that's an AccuForce quick release. That's when I ordered the rim, I just said I hadn't seen them do an AccuForce one before, and I think, in fact, I think this is the first ever HRS AccuForce that has been built, because when I inquired and I said to Brett there, I said, can you do an AccuForce? He said, yeah, but you need to send us a quick release. So all I did was I jumped on the forums. I bought this. It was about 50 quid, I think, about $80–90 off the iRacing forum. I sent him that, and he made it work. The paddles, I think you can see there. Yeah, they're carbon fiber as well. Magnetic shifters. And they're adjustable as well. So here you can adjust how far inwards or outwards they are in relation to the rim. I've got them at the most outwardly setting at the moment, which I think is right. It's certainly right for me, but you know, each to their own. And you can also, at the top here, you can adjust. If I can get a better light on that. It's a bit better. Yeah, so you can adjust by loosening that screw there. You can adjust how far or how close the paddle is in relation to the rim as well. So adjustable magnetic carbon fiber paddles. The rim feels amazing in hand as well. It's one of those rims where you should really wear gloves, but you know, it's a shame really because you just, you know, it just feels so great to hold the rim, you know, in hand. So yeah, so it cost me, it's about $1,600, which is about £890 in sterling. But that's what you pay for something like this. Is it worth it? For me, 100% yeah, because you get an awesome product, but the service that you get from HRS is amazing. I actually I'd had the rim for about 6 months, and I had an issue with this paddle here, and rather than you know, HRS say, okay, we'll send you a replacement piece and, you know, sort it yourself. What they actually did was I sent the rim back, and they fixed it. What happened was this sort of mounting area here, unbeknown to HRS at the time when they made my rim and a handful of others, their supplier of this part here actually sent them a weakened batch in error. It was only, I don't know, maybe half a dozen or so units that were affected, of which mine was one. But Brett was really transparent and honest with the situation, and that's how I know that, because he told me. But there was no way that HRS knew which rims were affected by this, and not only did they sort it and fit me with new higher spec paddle mounting points here at no cost, but they also offered me a like a donor rim, like a courtesy car if you take your car in for a service, because they wanted me to be not to be inconvenienced in any way that they could help. So not only did they, obviously me sending them my rim means I'm going to be without a rim and unable to race, but they actually offered to supply me and lend me a replacement whilst that repair was happening as well, which I thought was amazing. I never thought that would have been even an option, but yeah, it just goes to show that there's a number of sim hardware manufacturers who make the high-end stuff who are just known for going the extra mile when it comes to looking after their customers and really showing that they care. And that is absolutely the case with HRS, and you can see as well with any Facebook reviews that they get, people just can't speak highly enough, of their products. So would I spend the money again, on this? Absolutely, I would. The only thing that would stop me, and I would suggest to someone to not buy something like this, is if there's other areas of your rig that you can spend that money on and should spend that money on first. This is what I would call a nice to have piece of hardware, whereas I think that there's certain areas of the rig which are more must-haves, like load cell pedals, a direct drive wheel. I would spend money on those things first, and then a rig to match, maybe an 80/20 rig or something like that, first, before you start dumping best part of £1,000 on a wheel rim. I think, but I think if you've got all that sorted, and then you just want the ultimate in finishing touches, then absolutely, spend the money on something like this. I hope this little overview video has been helpful if you're thinking of buying one. It's the first video that I've done, so if there's anything that that I haven't covered that you want to know, just chuck a question in the comments, and I'll look out for those. I'll do some more videos as well. I've got some other bits of sim hardware that I will review over the coming weeks, months. Button boxes, a couple of shifters, things like that. So I'll do some videos on those as well. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I'll upload a clip now of the wheel rim in action.